In 2021, I was still deep in my addiction. It wasn't until May 15th that I had gotten an anonymous phone call coming from a detox center in Corona, California, asking me if I wanted to change my life. Mind you, my mindset was so self-destruction focused, we could say, right? Everything that I was doing in my life was destruction focused, whether it was myself, whether it was on others, whether it was just life in general, everything, right? From addiction to 13 years behind bars, never held any regard for life or anybody else. It was always doing shit my fucking way. The last couple weeks up until this phone call that came through, I had been wanting like a way out, right? I was just looking for it, kind of, but not really. But deep down, the feeling was arising inside of me that I knew that this wasn't the life for me, right? And by the grace of God, that phone call came through. But when I actually took advantage on this opportunity from this detox center to come and change my life, the first thing that I had to change was shifting my mindset. Shifting from destruction to positivity, right? Now, mind you, I had spent years and years and years living this destructive way of life, and I had went to rehab a couple of times, but it was always for the wrong reasons. It was never for myself. That's why it never worked. So I knew that the first thing that had to go was everybody in my life that was associated with that negative lifestyle immediately. The next thing I had to do was withdraw off of the fentanyl and off of the drugs. And this was a mission in itself. I'm a firm believer that if we want something bad enough, it doesn't matter how hard the mission is or how long it takes, we will achieve it. As long as we don't give up and we don't quit. I'm a firm believer that men don't fail, they quit. Withdrawing from the drugs, in an environment where everybody was doing the same thing was helpful, but it was also destructive as well. Because I went there on May 16th, 2021, but my actual clean date is not until the 22nd. Because when like minds get aligned and get next to each other and get thinking about the same things, guess what? Most likely that one thing that we're talking about ends up happening, especially being an addict, right? Now, the next thing that I had to really focus off when the withdrawals started to wear off, I started to find myself again. I was feeling this rush. Those of you guys in the program of AA are very familiar with this. And it's a rush and a high that you need to ride for as long as you fucking can. Because the minute that you slow down or in early stages of recovery is the minute that boredom starts to creep in. Okay, and if you don't have anything to fulfill yourself when going through these boredom phases, most likely most people end up relapsing. Okay. So the next thing that I had to do, I knew this, is start developing a stronger mindset, right? Start putting in physical effort to build my physique, build my life, build the man, recreate the man, fill my brain with positivity on a daily basis, work through the steps, work through my past traumas, work through all the destruction that I caused upon other people. And this process took years. Now, I had always been a just fucking do it kind of a guy, but it was always in a destructive fucking way, never for the positive. So when I started going to the gym on a daily basis, reading on a daily basis, meeting up with my sponsor, meeting up with my mentor, helping other individuals, going to meetings, so on and so forth, getting a job, right? I became fucking obsessed. I became obsessed with the growth, with the change, because I had the vision, right? I had the vision of this man that I wanted to create. Because mind you, I'm starting from nothing. My whole entire life has been destructive, right? All destructive, man. Getting high, in and out of the system, so on and so forth, right? And, I really remember just pushing myself fucking hard, right? In the easiest, the most effective way was getting under some heavy weight in the gym, man. That is what fucking did it. That's what provided the fulfillment. It wasn't the rehab. It wasn't, the job. It wasn't none of that. It was self-development, dude. Going to the gym, fueling the mind, following proper nutrition, right? Eating healthy, focusing on health and wellness instead of slamming fucking dope and causing destruction. And so that's what I became obsessed with. I switched the focus 100%, and I started to see these changes, right? But one thing about me was that I would get so stuck in the journey, which is the best way to go, by the way, that one day I had asked my sponsor, I was like, dude, what's up with these changes that I'm supposed to be seeing, right? Like, I don't see it. He's all, dude, why don't you take a minute and look back over the past year? Look back at how much your life has changed. Look where you are now compared to where you were before, right? And I did, and I was like, holy fuck, right? So I just doubled down. I didn't take my foot off the gas. I just doubled fucking down, man. And, the just fucking do it mindset will get you so fucking far in life as long as it's in a positive direction, right? Because I'd rather do something and let it be the wrong decision than to spend years thinking about making that one fucking decision, okay? Because time is the only thing that we can't get back, right? And I know from personal experience because I've wasted 20 years of my fucking life, and it gave me a lot of experience, and it helped me be able to help other men right now more than I would have been able to if I didn't go through shit. If I just was cruising through life, living this average fucking life, right? Like, living an average life and having average things, doing average things has never been fucking me, man. I know that a lot of people look at this like, oh, this guy just goes to the gym. He just trains his ass off. He has all day, right? Like, look at what the gym does for you. Look at what showing up every single day, no matter what, even on days that you don't want to show up and doing what you necessarily don't want to do some days. Imagine what that's going to do for you, man. It's honestly going to recreate your whole entire outlook and perspective on life. Because a lot of guys fucking quit because either they're not getting results, they're not seeing the changes, right? They're looking for that instant gratification, and that's not what life is all about. If you seek the instant gratification, you're going to continue to live in a fucking destructive fucking cycle, bro, and be just so secluded from everything that you could have and could be. So set yourself up with something, a goal. Let's say it's a goal. Let's say you want to lose 50 pounds. Let's say you want to build a business. Let's say you want to stop drinking. Just fucking do it. Just start. You have to just start, right? Limiting self-beliefs, self-centered fears, outside negative influences are the main three things that are going to keep you stuck forever, bro. You got to eliminate everything that doesn't align and pursue the life that you truly want with everything you fucking have. And I promise you, you'll fucking get there.